everyone, and welcome back to Portugal. Welcome back to Vlogmas. We thought we would show you our garden today to give you like a right up to date progress report basically. And before we go into the garden itself, just wanted to mention that we do have a compost section, a compost area. It's what we've used since we got here, you know, kitchen scraps and bits from the garden. It's quite a way out. Here we're situated at the top of the hillside, and we intend to build a bigger, better one that will be more functional actually in the garden where you need it. But I just thought I would mention that we actually do have one. Now what we'll do is we'll go down, I'll show you the pond and I'll show you what's growing. So I've brought you down to the lake, the pond. As you can see, it's pretty full. It's been like this for weeks now. Does go up and down a little bit. You may be able to make out just along the far edge there a darker line, and that's just the amount of that the water's dropped basically. It's just the amount that the water's dropped since it last rained about a week and a bit ago maybe. Can't remember, but we're due more rain. I think we've got about 10 days of rain in the next 12 days. So cheery there. And you can see all of the seeds that Darren planted, they are all coming away. And that's like knitting the freshly dug soil. It's knitting it all together so that it helps it to compact, and that will help with the water retention as well. So we're really pleased. We're going to go through a summer and see how that goes. But yep, we're really pleased. Max loves it. He can just go and drink his fill. Sometimes has a swim. What we do intend to do is pump out some of the water that we have now into containers so that we can hold on to that water, and then when it rains again it will then hopefully refill and we can pump some more out. So at the moment we're just saving up for probably some IBCs. We have just bought a small pump that we can run with our generator, and we're also saving up for the pipe that will run from here to the IBC. I'm sort of making a theme of these kind of beds around the trees that were already here, the original trees. So this is a couple that Jacques left in when he landscaped for us. So I've just bordered it round. There's lots of little stones here, not many big rocks, but lots of little stones. So I've bordered it round. It is a fruit tree of some kind. I think it's an apple tree, and we've cut lots out and sort of shaped it. Hopefully it will now have chance to actually fruit, so we're hoping on that. And then this one we left in is an oak of some kind. I don't think it's a cork oak. I think this one's a home oak, but it's a little oak tree of some kind. And then these sort of sticking out, they're all of the lilies that we took out of our front garden when we made space there. So I just chopped them right down and they've been sort of planted around. Hopefully they'll survive. And right next to that apple tree, we've got the beds that we made. So these are the two that we've got planted up. So these are the cabbages, still all really good. We don't get a frost here, or we haven't had one yet, although there has been a frost down in the village, which seems to dip down There can sometimes be like a 10-degree difference between the houses right in the bottom of the village and where we are up at the top. So yep, all of the cabbages are doing really well, and in this bed the broccoli and the cauliflower are doing fine. I think I've lost one cauliflower. I think I've lost one just because it's been nibbled by, I don't know, a slug or a snail or something that's just eaten the leaf but not the stalk. All the onions are doing fine, and the peas that I planted, they've all come up, as you can see. And then moving further along, I've started making more beds just with wood that we had on the hillside and just in the local area, stuff that was already fallen, and just using up what's there basically for free. This is another one of the beds that we've made. Hi, sweetheart. We did go out and along the roadside we collected some of the bigger rocks. I say we only have lots, well, yeah, we don't have rocks, we have loads of stones. So this one, again, we've got another that I think is an apple tree, and we've cut a lot off that one and sort of really shaped it, and hopefully we took out a bit of disease, so hopefully that one will survive. Again, another little oak tree that was there, and one on this side, and then a much more established cork oak behind me. I have sprinkled throughout this bed some wildflower seeds, so in spring I'm hoping for a nice display of colour. And then just on the corner here we've planted a plum tree, like a red plum. So, but I've loved using these stones. As you can see, there's loads of quartz rocks here, and they're just lovely. This is the last, well, this was the first bed that I did, but the last one I'll show you today, and it's got the lovely big madronya tree in here. Lovely big multi-stem, and I love it. It's been humming with bees ever since we got here, but now that it's December and it's cold, all of the flowers that were here, these little bell flowers, are all dropping off, and we've got sort of the start of fruit. So I'll get Darren to come and sort of focus in on this, but what it looks like to me is when you've had a bunch of grapes and then you've picked all the grapes and you've just got the little stalky bit left. That's what that looks like. I am going to show you inside the polytunnel. You can see it's still standing, hasn't moved an inch since we put it up a few weeks ago, which we're really glad about, but I'm just excited. So I'm going to show you our new purchase. We've treated ourselves today. I've never had one before, but now the land is big enough. We've bought a wheelbarrow. So yeah, just excited.
Definitely,
yeah.
Good one.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that'll definitely help us with
absolutely
all sorts of stuff,
yes, yeah,
especially when we can't bring the truck down.
Yeah, and carting things up and down, getting it to where we want it to be. Yeah. So you saw us put the polytunnel up, and now we're starting to make use of it. So let's just show you what we've done. I now have a workbench, and Darren's going to insert a little clip because we did do the work for this and filmed it last week. I think it was the beginning of last week. It feels like a long time ago, so it might have been the beginning of last week.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I can use the overhang on the end as well as extra hangers. So, while Darren, who are you? While Darren pulls out all the little nails to finish off this job, I thought I'd just show you what we've done. So previously you would have seen us cutting up a pallet, a big long pallet to make a workbench. Well, we've now got some breeze blocks and we've got 3 standing on end, and then to make sure they don't fall down, we've got these posts which are reusing an old gazebo that we had, and between the wind and the mice it was a bit worse for wear, so we're trying to recycle all of the parts of it. So we've got 2 posts on this side hammered into the ground about as much as they are above ground, and then 2 posts on the inside, and that's on both pillars of breeze blocks, so they're really sturdy. And then obviously this pallet lid is extremely heavy, so that's also bearing pressure down and making it more sturdy again. So I have a lovely big workspace here. Then you've just seen Darren putting in sort of some hooks and a shelf. These were taken straight out of the bus. We're recycling every piece that we can out of there. So these formed a back part of the kitchen on the original build, and the hooks had cups on, and the shelf at the far end, that was that where we had our water container, so that the tap would just be at a higher height and we could fill our cups and kettle. So that's now a really good space for another water container, so when I'm planting up seeds or potting things on, I've actually got some water straight in here. And I think all of the screws and everything are also recycled, so we're really pleased with this. The only thing we had to buy were the breeze blocks. Yeah, now it's in use. So because I'm not used to gardening in this climate where you can actually keep your garden going through the winter, I've just set away a few experiments more than anything for myself. Just put some seeds in and going to see what they do. All I can do, just see what we do. And we've reused everything that we could from the bus as well, so I've got places to hang things and little shelves. It's all brilliant. And what we also got today was this. So it comes in 2 parts. We nearly forgot to pick up the second part when we went to the agricultural shop today, and we're going to attempt to grow our own mushrooms. So these are for chestnut mushrooms, our favourites, and we thought while we have the space and the time, it's something we've always wanted to do, but we just haven't had the time to do it. So we may need some help there. If you have any experience of growing mushrooms, especially if you've had this kind of pack and set up, drop us some comments down. And we have got a little, what's this, a little instruction pack, but obviously it's all in Portuguese, so that's going to help. Oh, good grief. It's going to help us with our words that we try and learn every day. Yep, so if you've ever grown these kind of mushrooms in this situation, drop us a comment and help us out.
So this is the pack that we got from Agriloja.
Yep, we got it from Agriloja, the agricultural shop today.
I'm sure they'll sell it in other agricultural shops.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we nearly just went away with the big pack.
With the big pack, because the ones we've seen previously have been where you buy like the mushroom compost and it's already impregnated with the spores. But then the gentleman came running over and went, this. So he clearly knew. Oh, stupid people wandering away with only half the pack. But
we would have wondered why we didn't get any much.
Yeah, we'd been going, it's very slow, it's very slow. The final section that I wanted to share with you today is what we planted here in this bottom berm. So in the corner here, I've put my gooseberry. So you may have seen us buying the gooseberry a while back now. So it's doing really well. It's got some little tiny fresh growth starting there, so it's enjoying where it is. The few little straggly bits in the end are what we took out of the garden in front of the house, and then our garlic. So you saw us putting our garlic in and it's doing really well. So loads of it has come up. Really good growth on there everywhere, so really pleased with that. And then if Darren can walk backwards and not fall over, this is all garlic. And then here we've got a section of peas. So again, just as we showed you in the bed, the peas have come up really well. And I basically just put those in just to add a bit of nitrogen back into here for when we plant salads and stuff in the spring. Then we've got little lines of radishes and beetroot, which are these tiny little ones that are growing all the way along and along and along and along, doing really well. So we're really pleased with those. Lovely. These will be the beetroots because they've got red legs. So yep, everything's doing amazingly well. Usually in the UK you would have put your garden to bed by now and there would be nothing. So really happy, really pleased with this.
So thanks very much for joining us today on our land tour. We've only showed you the bottom two parts of the land really, the bottom end, the lake, and the van, what we call the van area at the moment. We've got the tree area and the olive area above us, but we'll do a proper tour of that and what Elaine's planted in those a little bit later on, when that's all sorted.
Yep, when we've got all of the trees in, and yeah.
So for now, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again on the next one.
Tomorrow.
Yes. See you then.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
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 Get your foot off. That's it. There you go. You checking it out?